I was really hopeful whenever we first started. Not that much rust, but I'm assuming that this heater was leaking and we got some problems. Started day number 3, got a little bit of cleanup from last night, and found out where all of our rust is at. Not that much rust, but I'm assuming that this heater was leaking and we got some problems. But I got a plan to fix that. I'm gonna take the whole wheel well out. I think we're gonna lower our wheel wells so that they're more flush with the floor. But the rust isn't horrible because the floor panels are really thick on this bus. So I'm gonna continue ripping the floor up and we'll go from there. As you can see, we're just like everybody else. We have this heater core line right here. And I think what I'm gonna do for the time being, because we're removing both of these, but I'm unsure if I'm gonna loop the coolant all the way to the back. Some people recommend that you leave the length of the hose even if you remove the heaters, because it holds the right amount of coolant for the coolant system for this bus. So if you take it out and you delete it all the way back up to the front, like a lot of people do, it can cause overheating. May or may not, who knows, but I'd rather err on the side of caution. I think we're gonna leave the coolant, but we're gonna hide them underneath the bus so you can't see them. It's just there so that everything works properly. So for right now, I'm gonna take this one off. I'm gonna take this one off on this side, and I'm gonna loop it back and connect it to this one right here. And it's gonna shorten it, but that'll delete both of my heaters and clean everything up. So let's get into that. Now it's time to get these heaters out. I'm gonna do mine a little different than I've seen everybody do. As far as removing them and not making a mess, I'm going to use these quick clamps, and I'm gonna clamp it off right here, set it up higher so it's now the highest point on the system, and it shouldn't leak. There will be a little bit of leaking, obviously. You're gonna have a little bit, but it'll be minimal. And then I'm gonna take this one off and I'm gonna fold it over on itself and close the system. And then I'm gonna take the ones off of these and attach it to this one and completely wrap the system. That probably doesn't make sense. I'm gonna do a time lapse of it, and then whenever I feel like I need to do in detail, I'll show you. Step 1, get this to be the highest point on the system. I just set it up on a block. Now it's higher than the engine. Now I'm gonna clamp this off right here with a squeeze clamp, take this off, and that's the end of the line. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Use this hose clamp. Open it all the way up. Okay, so I got it all the way open. I'll fold this down, take it off. All right, so you get it off. Get a good fold in it. Put the hose clamp back on, and it's not big enough. So you just gotta squeeze it really tight. Just using a little black tape there. Should be alright. Alright, when you're done, it should look something like this on the closed end. No liquids coming out of there. Then go to the next one. So what we're going to do is loop it back so the return and the feed need to be put together. So make sure you get the right one that's the feed. This one. Just like before, come down. A little squeeze pressure on it right there. It's getting late, and I've decided that we're going to delete this heater too. There's a lot of controversy on it because some people are like, oh, you need that for defrost purposes, and I'm really not concerned with that. If we get somewhere where we need to defrost, I'm gonna put a small electric heater next to the blower down here, put them both on a switch over there by the driver's seat, flip it on, defrost the windows. I really don't need this heater core here. The fan on it doesn't work anyways. The fan that's right here to heat these steps, the defrost fan works, but this fan itself doesn't work, so there's really no need to have it. That's kind of the reason we're going to get rid of all those. I've also decided that I'm going to delete the heater cores all the way back to the motor, so I'm going to just loop it dead on the motor and get rid of all the heater lines out of the bus totally. I'll have a video on how to do that later next week, I think is when I'm going to get to that. But yeah, I think I might just time lapse through this. May do a couple short videos to show some stuff if I get stuck and think somebody may need some more detail on what I'm doing. Like I was saying before, we think this heater was leaking, and that's what caused this hole right here. But we're gonna have it cut. I'm gonna cut it out. These wheel wells are meant to be replaced. They're easily pulled out. I noticed that when I was underneath the bus. I'm gonna cut this out and just put new metal. There's a metal fabrication shop close to where we live. I'm gonna have some made that are lower profile. We're gonna lower the bumps inside the bus and have them custom made. So That way when I put the flooring in, it's nice and flat. But all in all, the floor is not bad. I'm gonna sand it real good with the sander and the grinder, and then I'll show you a video when I get done with that. Okay, so as you can see, let's see if I can get that to focus right there. Yeah. Well, I got it cut off flush. Can't get the camera to focus. It's flush with the bottom. Be careful, because there are things back there. Like this little tab, I'm gonna probably cut that off. It's just really not doing anything. There's one over here too, but that's out. Okay, just took all the side panels off this side. It's really not that bad hard. A lot of people post this, but they don't tell you exactly. It's a number 2 square bit. It's not a Phillips. It's a number 2 square bit. So instead of wasting your money on buying Phillips and breaking them, just buy a number 2 square bit. You just blow through them really quick. I'm just going to pull the insulation out, and then I'm going to start on this side over here. Okay, so I just got all the cotton candy insulation off the passenger side, and I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse me doing this entire side from start to finish so you can get an idea about how long it took me to do it. Okay, I figured it was noteworthy to explain what I did there. I took the ground off and then unplugged the security sensor. That way the emergency exit will not go off when I start the bus. Just unplugged it, plugged it back in. Luckily, this one doesn't even work. I tried the bus, and even like it is, it doesn't even buzz. So. As you can tell, I've cut the top angle off that. A lot of people leave it and just frame around it. I just don't want to have something to deal with later when I'm framing. There was a few spots that were troublesome, like right here where this little box is. They build these lower boxes so that this hat channel can sit on top of it. I'm gonna reinforce it when I rebuild the wheel wells. So I guess the next thing I'm gonna do is cut these wheel wells out. I think I'm gonna grind all these rivets off and cut it down here and get rid of all the old grimy rust or whatever. Once I get those done, I'll have somebody come over here and help me weld a new piece in, and we'll be good to go. I already made that mark over there, and I squared this off to bring it up with this one. I already cut this side. I just squared it off. I cut it off with the frame right there. I'm gonna put some angle iron right there and just reinforce the top that way, and bring it up flush with this side over here. So all this will be flush, and then I'll bring my box up and over this way. The box will end where the wheel well ends, and I'll have to put a patch right here because it's just cancerous, man. Like, if you leave this rust, no matter how far back I cut, if I don't cut way back into good metal, then this is just going to continue to rust. So I just went ahead and cut back all the way to the strut so I have something to weld to. I'm gonna put some angle iron right here and just put me a patch right there. That way I don't have to worry about that. Like, this is probably, I could probably have cut way back to right here. I could have cut back to right here and it would have been fine, but it's better to be safe and just cut on back if you can, and you know you got the material, which we got the wall panels, which is what I'm going to do the patch with. I'm going to explain how I'm getting this squared off line. So what I'm doing is, I'm measuring underneath here. See how far it is to that support on the underside, that support right there. And then I'm gonna add a 1/2 inch so that way I cut in the middle, because it's a C channel. So I'll end up right in the middle of the C, and then when I go back and weld, it'll cover it up just like this does. Okay, so just to recap, today I cut the wheel wells out and cut the rust back on this one and cut the rust back on this one. This one wasn't as bad as this one. On this one I had to cut back a little farther, not much, but it'll work out. I cut forward a little bit, and the plan is to have a 4-inch platform above the wheels, and it'll have like a step. So it doesn't make sense when I just talk about it, so I'll just explain more when we do it. Also got the 12-volt lights out from the school bus all the way down on both sides. Let's see what else I've done today. I took that out. Tomorrow I think we're going to take the ceiling panels out, so that'll be fun. So guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I got some gas for the truck, gas for me, also known as an energy drink. I measured for the wheel wells. I'm gonna get to the welding place, see how much it's gonna cost us to have the wheel wells welded up, and then I'll bring them back here and I'll put them in place. Hopefully it's not like crazy expensive. If it's expensive to have them make them, then I'll probably just buy the metal and do it myself, but it would just save me some time if they welded them. So I'm leaving the metal fabrication place now. They'll have the wheel wells done hopefully late this week, early next week. Not too bad, $275 for both of them. And then I had to buy some angle iron and stuff to install them in the bus. I'm gonna probably have some friends help me with the welding, because I've done very small welding jobs, nothing big, and not super good at it, I don't think. So it's better to be safe than sorry on that. But we will see what they look like. Until they get done, I guess I'm just gonna work on other parts of the bus. We're gonna go ahead and rust convert some parts of the floor. I'll go ahead and clean all the underbody up in the inner wheel wells. I may coat the inner wheel wells as much as I can without covering where we got to weld at. May clean the bus, the outside of the bus, like the roof and stuff, and get it ready for the lap sealant. We'll see how these things go.